Good Monday, everyone. We've got a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right on in. Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union bringing us our weather headlines. Cold rain developing tonight. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Changing to a wintry mix by Tuesday morning, and monitoring another possible wintry mix that could impact the area late Thursday night into Friday morning. Stubbs generators bring us our level of concern. If you haven't thought about a generator, you may not need it in this winter weather event, but I think this all reminds us, just like the last little snow did, that the day is coming when you may need one. So keep Stubbs generators in mind for sure. Our level of concern is level 2. That makes it a meteorologist marked weather alert day and night, and particularly because we're looking out for that incoming rain and then wintry weather coming in after dark. So we have liquid precipitation till midnight, and then after that, we're going to start seeing a changeover. Clearview Closet and Blind brings us our 5-day forecast. Got that rain coming in after sunset. So our daylight hours today are fine. Anything you need to get done, anything you need to do, you're going to be absolutely okay. Highs in the low 40s. That 50% chance for rain comes after the sun sets. Overnight lows tonight around 30. That means we're going to see a changeover from that rain to a wintry mix, and that wintry mix stays with us into Tuesday morning. Highs only in the mid-30s for Tuesday if we're lucky, dropping back down to 20 Tuesday night. Wednesday looks great, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-40s. Thursday, clouds start to thicken up once again. We're only around 41 for a high before more precip moves in Thursday night. Light precip, it looks like at this point, but with overnight lows in the upper 20s, you can bet that's not going to be liquid. So we'll see some wintry mix going into Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, we're okay again. Highs in the low 40s, and 50% chance for that wintry mix right now on Friday. So not looking like a huge precipitation event on Friday, but it doesn't take much of a wintry mix to cause a lot of problems. Our 24-hour precip forecast for Monday into Tuesday. So not until you get into about the 7 o'clock hour. So let's say, 7 o'clock, some of you all start maybe seeing a sprinkle or something like that. 50% chance though by 8 p.m. and then 70% by 9 p.m., jumping up to 95% by midnight. So you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be raining from midnight to around 3 a.m. And then that's when we start seeing that colder air start moving back in and start changing that precipitation over to a rain, sleet, freezing rain, snow mix that stays with us, especially through the 6 a.m. hour, and then really drops off dramatically by mid-morning, dropping down to around 20%. So looking at our 24-hour temperatures, so we're freezing at 9 a.m., and then we go up to the low 40s by noon into the afternoon, dropping down into the upper 30s by 6 p.m. That rain starts moving in like we just saw around 7 or so temperatures are in the upper 30s. And then look at that. Temperatures rise from, say, 6 p.m. to midnight. They rise up to 40 degrees because we've got some southerly winds that are going to be kicking in a little bit there. But then the colder air starts moving back in. It's a roller coaster ride, right? And the colder air starts moving back in, and we start seeing that changeover. I've got 36 degrees there at 3 a.m. That's basically around Crossville. Those of you around Livingston, Birdstown could be down closer to 33, 34, so you'd already be seeing a pretty good switchover taking place there. We're all below freezing, it looks like, by 6 a.m., and that's when we could start having some travel issues on some area roadways as some of that precipitation starts to accumulate, especially on bridges and overpasses. You know the drill, and the traditionally colder spots. So only rising up to around freezing by 9 a.m. So it's Tuesday morning, late tonight into Tuesday morning, that things could be the trickiest as far as travel goes. We got a lot of snowpack to our northwest, so as soon as those winds switch back to the north tonight, sometime around that 2, 3, 4 o'clock a.m. time frame, it's not going to have far to reach to grab some colder air, because that is very cold air where that snowpack is. That got as far south, didn't it? Look at that. It's almost down to the Mississippi River. So, snowpack is getting closer. B&H Storm Shelter is bringing us our winter weather threats. Got a medium risk for snow, almost a medium risk for sleet. I'll keep an eye on that as we go through the day. Threat time frame, 3 a.m. to noon, I'm saying here, but probably really more like 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. I may update that a little bit later on, so stay tuned for more updates on that. Forecast snowfall totals. I did have an inch or less last night. Today I have a half inch or less. The main reason for that is because I think there's going to be a lot of sleet that mixes in with it. I mentioned the other day that sleet is a snow accumulation killer, but it can make travel trickier. So half inch or less of snow. Isolated higher amounts are always possible. And those of you around Livingston, Jamestown, Byrdstown would stand the greater risk for having the higher amounts, say like up to an inch. But again, if a lot of sleet mixes in with all of this, it's going to be the half inch or less, but then we have the problem of icing on bridges and overpasses with that sleet. So stay tuned for updates as we go through the day. I'll keep everything posted. I'm leaving the snow day forecast at 50%. Just looking at things a little bit closer. So stay tuned. I may increase this chance as we go through the day. But stay tuned for updates to that. On this day in weather history, December 1st, speaking of which, happy first day of meteorological winter. December 1st is the first day of meteorological winter. We do ours in equal 3-month increments. December, January, February is winter when it comes to us in meteorology. 1974 and 2008, we had an inch of snow in Crossville. 1959, the Antarctic Treaty was signed by 12 countries, making the Antarctic country a demilitarized zone to be preserved for scientific research. If only all areas, right? 1984, a joint project between NASA and the FAA intentionally crashed a remote-controlled Boeing 720 aircraft. How fun would that be? But anyway, they were testing it for safety and whatnot. So, and they did make improvements. They made some adjustments. You can read on there that made flying even safer. So, back in 1984. You folks have a wonderful Monday and keep looking up. I will keep you updated throughout the day on anything you need to know. So stay tuned for special updates. Make sure you got the app downloaded or that you're following me on the website so you get those updates as soon as I send those out. You all stay warm and keep it right here to Meteorologist Mark.